Hello there everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Today, as I complete the last video in the Quarantine Creations video series, I thought it would be nice to just go through a day of quiet witchcraft. Before I begin, if you haven't seen the last two videos, I would recommend watching them before this one, and I'll link them down below. This last video here is focused on what we can do for ourselves during this time and what we really need in our lives right now as individuals. And I decided what I really needed right now was a quiet day of witchcraft, where I can focus on grounding my energy and myself. Today I began with a cup of tea, as any good day always does. And I added in some herbal honey to help set the intention for my day. The world right now is very surreal. And some days I've been finding it difficult to be fully grounded and focused on the work I need to be. My mind is constantly drifting to the what ifs and worries. So I've decided for this last video what I really need is a practice to help aid in some of the worry, and one to help me maintain my focus on my work. So first, I thought it would be best to go out and collect some fir branches to hang above my bed and the beds of my family, as fir branches help to heal illness quickly or even keep it at bay. In general, fir trees correspond with healing, purification, and protection. Doing this has given me some peace of mind, but there's still been that issue of focus. So I figured it was as good a time as any to craft a shaker jar to help keep me on track. I absolutely love working with shaker jars. They're incredibly versatile and really just so simple to construct. All you need is a jar, some herbs of your choosing, and a strong intention to tie it all together. I've made a video in the past detailing the general ins and outs of shaker jars, though that one focused mainly on purification, and today I wanted to craft something a little bit different as I needed the spell to focus on, well, focus. So naturally, I chose my herbs accordingly. I chose basil for discipline, bay for strength and endurance, dandelion for it's an emotional cleanser, mint for clarity of mind, and rosemary for concentration. I simply began by layering each herb on top of another within the jar, repeating this step 3 times over. And since I've created it, I've been shaking the jar each time I felt my mind was drifting away. Simple, quiet practices such as these are my favorite to incorporate into my everyday. Not every day allows for extravagance within the craft, and honestly, I very rarely find myself drawn to such practices. I'm most at home while performing simple acts and quiet household magic. The kind that is easily placed within our everyday lives. Believe it or not, this magic is easy to come by and accessible to just about everyone, regardless of the path they follow or life they lead. You needn't have mastered the craft or spent your life studying it to work simple rites throughout your day. I believe that this is one of the biggest misconceptions there is when it comes to practicing witchcraft. That idea that you have to know everything in order to lead a magical life, and the notion that magic is only performed in these big productions, events that take great amounts of time to complete, and require the attainment of so many herbs and ingredients that have to be just so. Now, of course, as with anything, there is a time and a place for such practices, though I feel it's safe to say that very few of us find ourselves in the position to complete such tasks on the daily. But that doesn't bar us from finding magic and practicing it in our everyday lives. Everyday magic is quiet. It lives within simple acts filled with intention. I promise you there's magic in the mundane, you just have to know where to look for it. Because regardless of if it's the simple stir of your spoon, hanging of herbs, or actual crafting of a spell, you're putting magic into your life. Every action, if filled with intention, has the ability to powerfully change your world. So, for those of you new to the craft, know that yes, there is a time and place for spells and rituals of a complex manner, though they are not necessarily integral to living a magical life. Alrighty guys, for those of you interested in joining in on this tag, all you have to do is either craft a spell or do some magical workings for either the global community, your family or local community, or yourself, using simply what you have on hand at home. And if you're feeling inspired, you could complete all three. There should be a general theme of relief and healing, and it's a fun challenge if you're feeling up to it to try and connect all three, though this isn't necessary. Try to create your own spells using your own magic, and remember, the key element here is to only use what you have at home. If you do decide to join in, create a post on either YouTube or Instagram using the tag Quarantine Creations so Rebecca and I can find what you came up with. I've seen some of your posts so far and they're so lovely, and it's wonderful to see how many of you have joined in, and thank you so much to those of you that have. Now, if you haven't seen Rebecca's video yet, I'll link her down below and I would recommend checking her out. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're staying safe and well. I hope to see you soon.